Morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 144 in the Gospel of John. Now, they already kicked me off the internet for the topic that we're going to talk about here today. We're in this series. We're following the crucifixion of Jesus. We're not quite there yet. Barabbas has just received mercy, undeserved mercy. Why? So that we can receive undeserved mercy. And they choose the one who breaks the Ten Commandments instead of the one who wrote the Ten Commandments. And we're watching Pilate now fail to prevail in the truth. So watch what happens today in our single verse. Now, he's had many opportunities, personal opportunities with Jesus, and he's going to fail us. But today, we're going to venture into a topic that has already gotten me kicked off this a social media platform for its content. So we've been working our way through the Bible, basically one paragraph at a time, through 1,843 episodes. And we started in the mid-Gospels. And way back then in COVID, we finished the Gospels chronologically, combining all the events of Jesus' life sequentially. So we've gone over the arrest and mistreatment and crucifixion before. So what was it exactly that got me kicked off the internet and social media platform before? Well, it's today's verse and its explanation. This is from John chapter 19, verse number 1. Here it is. Here's the whole verse. Then Pilate took Jesus and flogged him. Now, there's two Greek words for Roman punishment. One is mastigo, which is flogging, whipping, beating, chastising, and the point is to injure the person reputationally and physically, so much so that he's not perceived as a threat. Now, Pilate probably did that with Jesus elsewhere. Therefore, I will punish and release him. So he's trying to beat him, make him less of a threat, and then release him. That doesn't work. So then he goes to a more violent scourging, flagello. Now, what is that? That's a Roman judicial penalty which consists of a severe beating with a multi-lashed whip with embedded pieces of bone and metal. I'm going to quote from I think it was a sermon done by Colby King at 330 Ministries, because he just explains it so well. The Roman scourge, this is him writing, the Roman scourge, also called the flagrum or flagellum, was a short whip made of 3 or more leather straps connected to a handle. From this word, we get our English word fillet, referring to a strip of boneless flesh or a slice of meat, which is a good description of what this weapon could do to the human body. The leather straps were knotted with a weight at the end and embedded with metal nails and bone shards. Sharp fragments from the knuckle bone of sheep were often used. The flagrum would sometimes contain a hook at the end and was given the terrifying name scorpion. Scourging would quickly remove flesh, leaving the skin hanging like ribbons, and would expose a bloody mass of muscle and bone, sometimes even exposing the internal organs. The flagrum was a powerful weapon of torture and brutal punishment carried out by professionally trained soldiers, where the victim would be stripped naked, tied or shackled to a sturdy column or between 2 columns. The 2 soldiers, one standing on each side, would alternate hits, beating the victim continuously. According to Jewish law, you could not beat someone more than 40 times, so that the Jews would always stop at 39, lest they miscount and accidentally sin against God. Now, the Romans, however, had no such law. This punishment was not so much about the number of lashes as it was about beating a person to within a step of death and then backing off. So concerning the Romans' flagrum, the church historian Eusebius, we mentioned him a couple weeks ago, of Caesarea, recounts in vivid and horrible detail a scene of scourging. He says, quote, "For they say that the bystanders were struck with amazement when they saw them lacerated with scourges, even to the innermost veins and arteries, so that the hidden inward parts of the body, both their bowels and their members, were exposed to view." And then he ends with this description about the purpose. The ends of the flagrum were short, which gave the soldiers more control over the cuts. Long ends would risk the chance of severing the arteries in the neck and rendering a quick death. The purpose of this torture was to prolong suffering. All right, I'm done with this quote now. So why does Jesus have to suffer so much? Jesus suffers so much so that we know that even our bad sins are covered, that they're paid for if we let him. So this suffering that is described by this beating is one of the most important things that has ever happened on our planet. And it's quite unpalatable, as you have heard. It's so nasty that even considering it verbally can get you kicked off the internet. Now imagine if we considered it the physicality, or saw it physically. So as we see, the purpose of this flagellum is not to kill you. The purpose is so you get beaten so bad, but you survive so that you can have something even worse. So yes, I know it's horrible, but there is more to come, and it is even worse than this. So all I can say is please come back and watch and see and hear how much Jesus loves you. Thanks for listening.